The bell above the heavy glass door chimed, cutting through the low hum of the espresso machine. Ren didn't look up from wiping down the polished granite counter. He was still trying to get used to the weight of the rag in his hand, the smell of dark roast, and the absurd fact that he wasn't hooked up to a heart monitor in a sterile ward, dying alone after his ex-wife and her family stripped him of every cent he'd ever worked for. In his past life, he'd poured his soul into a black hole of empty promises, bankrupting his finances and his health for love. He wasn't making that mistake twice. A shadow fell over the register. Lorenzo stood there in a bespoke, razor-sharp suit, looking every bit the heir to the city's most dangerous syndicate. The air in the boutique coffee shop nestled right in the glass and steel heart of the downtown high-rise complex, mere blocks from the syndicate's main turf, instantly turned ice cold. Lorenzo set a heavy palm on the counter, leaning in. He braced himself, clearly expecting the usual: the tears, the quiet begging, the trembling hands of the timid college roommate he'd kept tucked away in the shadows for years. "It's over, Ren," Lorenzo said, his voice a low, uncompromising rumble. "My family made the arrangement. I'm marrying the Moretti daughter next month. We can't see each other anymore. You move on, you forget my name, and if you ever breathe a single word of what we've been to anyone, I will personally ensure you disappear. Understand?" Ren stopped wiping. In the memory of the body he now inhabited, the previous Ren would have broken down right here. He would have sobbed, clutching at Lorenzo's lapels, screaming about how they'd shared a tiny dorm room in college, how he'd given up a normal life to be a mafia boss's secret, asking, "How could you do this to me?" Instead, the transmigrated Ren slowly folded the rag, set it down, and met Lorenzo's dark eyes with an unblinking, glassy calm. "All right," Ren said plainly. "So what do I get out of it?" Lorenzo froze. The slick, cold authority on his face cracked, replaced by sheer, dumbfounded bewilderment. He stared at Ren, the boy who usually hid behind him at the slightest sign of conflict, standing tall, looking him dead in the eye without a flicker of fear or heartbreak. "What?" Lorenzo stammered, caught completely off guard. "You're ending the arrangement for business," Ren said, leaning back against the espresso machine, his voice smooth and entirely transactional. "I get it, but my silence and my time aren't free." "What's my severance?" Lorenzo swallowed, visibly struggling to recalibrate. The sudden, icy pragmatism coming from his timid secret lover baffled him to his core, but the ruthless mafia air in him pushed forward. He needed this loose end tied, no matter how strangely the loose end was acting. Reaching into his breast pocket, Lorenzo pulled out a heavy black credit card and a set of legal deeds, slapping them down on the granite. "The shop is already in your name. It stays yours," Lorenzo muttered, his eyes narrowing as he searched Ren's face for a crack in the mask. "And the card is loaded. Consider it compensation for the time wasted. This severs us completely. If I ever see you near my family's territory, or if a single word slips—" "Deal," Ren interrupted, casually sweeping the card and the deeds off the counter. He didn't even look at the numbers. "Pleasure doing business with you, Lorenzo. Mind closing the door tight on your way out? It lets a draft in." Lorenzo stood glued to the floor for 3 full seconds, completely speechless, before turning on his heel and walking out, thoroughly unsettled. Ren watched the glass door swing shut. He looked at the deed to a prime downtown coffee shop, felt the heavy plastic of a black card in his fingers, and let out a long, slow breath. "A shop, a liquid fortune, and no leech of a partner dragging me to the grave." Ren smiled to himself, picking up the rag again. "Best trade I've ever made."